balls. We are back again. This is J&J After Dark, where we're unfiltered, unedited, and ready to get deep.
Get deep inside them things. I could
Sure.
have said something. I could have said something a lot better than that.
You probably could
Fuck.
have. So, okay. So, we haven't done one of these in like a month. So, I'm happy that we
Yeah,
are actually able to sit down and kind of like shoot the shit. So,
yeah. And like
this.
actually not be held back by the show.
Yeah.
We just filter it out because I just feel like sometimes I want to say curse words and I'm like, I said badass earlier. I was like, is that a curse word? I had to question it.
No, ass is fine. You could say ass.
Crap is fine.
Crap is
I
fine.
think I think bitch was pushing it, but I had
Yeah,
to.
bitch is
I did,
pushing it. Can't say shit. Can't say fuck. Can't say balls.
or just can't talk about crass things
I
all as
guess.
well.
Yeah.
We just anywho.
So
Um, Go ahead.
first topic we're gonna break down here. This is from you. You actually put this on the docket like a week ago.
It was a
So
week ago. Yes.
apparently, Nicolas Cage says that he remembers being in his mother's womb as a fetus.
Yes.
Now,
And let me get the exact words for you.
now, before you bring up the quote and all that, I will say, as a kid, I used to say that I remembered my birth. Like that was a thing that I used to tell like my family. Like, yeah, I remember being born. Now,
They're like, "What is this dude? Crazy?"
now
I'm
here's the
crazy.
thing. Like, was that just like a thing I said as a kid, just being a kid? You know, like kids just make up shit, or like I don't know. Do I remember being born? Like Dwight Schrute, like in that episode of The Office where he describes his his birth, and he's like, "Father bites down on the cord," like, and Jim is like,
It's
"Stop,
so
stop
stupid.
forever." But who knows, man? Maybe I have that. Maybe I have that insight.
Well, the thing is, we all have that memory. Every human being has that memory.
I mean, do
And
we?
I'll
Is
tell
our
you this.
brain formed like to make that memory?
Yes. Um, I know this because I've read this somewhere, and I've had this. I have weird, I talk to myself all the time, like most
Mm-hmm.
people do, but I get into the philosophicals at times. So here's something that I connected with my random nightmares when I was a kid. So you may remember something like this or have something similar. Um, before I could before I get into it, let me just say Nick Cage says his earliest memory was inside his mother's room. Quote, and then he put quote, and there are quotes after this. I could see faces. And then let me find
See,
it
that's a
here.
weird one. Oh, you know what? I just found out that my post of when we
It
went
didn't go through.
live didn't go through.
Oh, that's annoying.
Like it just finished uploading right now.
I hate that.
Let's see if it brings anyone to After Dark. But he said that he saw
Yeah. So
faces.
when Colbert tried to press where the faces were coming from, as seen from the womb, Cage could only guess Cage's mother. Oh, Cage's mother danced. Oh no, that's not the quote that I'm looking for. He says, "Now that I am no longer in utero, I would have to imagine it was perhaps vocal vibrations resonating through to me at this stage." And that's going way back. I don't know. That's what comes to mind. So I have to like actually watch this interview just to kind of because you know how you can tell how people are thinking from how they're speaking. I feel like I need to see what he's saying just so I can understand what he's trying to say. Because you know how the media is, they tend to blow things up the way it is. He probably was saying something else. It's not like having visual memories of like being
Yeah.
inside the womb. Because first of all, it's dark in there. There's no way you can. It's dark in there. Think about it. Like when I so also when I think about inside my body, I think about it with colors, but then that's the only way we
Okay.
can imagine it. there's no way you can think about like being inside your stomach or in like look thinking about my heart. I think about it because I know what a heart looks like. It's
Hmm.
this big ass muscly thing. But in realistically, there's it's dark inside. There's no way someone can see in there, especially a fetus, unless there's some like strong light coming through.
I mean, through the vagina,
That's when you
light
a whole new
shines
world.
up.
There's a whole new world coming out of there. Um, but um, what I was getting at was so basically there's some connections that I've made where when I was younger, I used to have these, they were not necessarily nightmares. They were just these dreams that I would have where I felt like I was stuck in space.
Hmm.
And I always felt, and this was when I was probably like 4 or 5, maybe like within the range of fours to like probably 10. I would have these dreams where I'd be stuck in space, but I can't move. So
Okay.
I can only, as of now, as a 30-year-old, I've thought about this for the last couple of years where I'm like, what if that was just me stuck inside the womb? What if I'm just recalling it, but
In
in
like a
dream
different
form?
way. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way I can sit here now and think of that memory.
Yeah.
But in my dreams, your dreams are, and you can go in your deep recesses. And this is me making like hypothetical, like this is my own hypotheses. There's probably papers out there written about this,
I mean, there
and it
has to
sounds
be.
plausible. And it sounds plausible. That's why I think it's real. So I'm just thinking like every time, like the colors that come to mind when I recall these dreams are like these dark reddish, blackish. It feels like there's space, like these nebula type
Hmm.
colors. So that's what it feels like to me. And there are times where I felt like I would be coming down to earth, and that's where my fear of falling comes too, because I feel like I'm
Hmm.
falling from space. So like that's why I always have that fear of falling. So that I'm like wondering, it's like, is that all part of it? Like, is that all connected to being in the womb or being born? So I guess I'm not giving a definite answer. I'm only giving you a dream aspect of it. And I'm sure again, I do believe everyone has the memory. They just can't bring it up to the forefront. Like, what did I have for breakfast yesterday or
Yeah.
that
I
type of
mean, I guess once your brain is there and it has activity, like I guess you can start making memories. They say that you don't truly have accessible memories until the second year of life, I think.
thing. Yeah. What's your earliest memory that you remember?
Oh, it was I was 3 years old and I opened the top lock to our apartment in the Bronx for the first time. It's a
Mm.
really shitty,
It's funny.
dumb memory, but like,
No, it's not. It's not dumb because I again, and that just probably makes us. This is why we're close as shit. My dream or my earliest memory, because I remember running through the hallway to my door.
mm.
So that was probably us trying to connect
so
through space and time.
so
That's my earliest memory.
in our apartment in the Bronx, it was a small apartment building. There was like I think 4 apartments. Two of them
Mm,
were the landlady, and then there was another guy, and then us at the bottom. Um,
mm.
it was more. It was probably closer to like a four-family house, if that makes sense, or like a smaller version of the what was it called? Where Hey Arnold's building? It was called
Yeah,
something,
I don't
but
remember.
it was like a smaller version of that because there was only 2 floors, and there was like I guess 2 apartments on each floor. Anyway, um, you went through the front door, and then there was the locked door, and then you I remember opening that up and then running to our door and then opening the 2 locks that we had. The top lock specifically is what I remember.
Boarding house.
Boarding house. Yeah, something like that, I guess. So that was my earliest memory. There's also memories like I wish I remembered as a kid. Like there's one thing I have like sometimes I have issues like accessing memories. I don't know if it has to do with trauma. I don't know if I just like have a lot going in my head at all times, which is very true. Um, so there's it's like hard for me to access memories, like even funny ones. Like I wish I could remember. Um, so there was one time that my mom, I think I was 5,
Mm.
and my mom got a peek at like my humor and what it would be. So apparently she was like cooking or something, and she was like, "Oh, I don't have any sausages," And I looked at her and I was like, I have a sausage. And she was like, what? And I was like, and then I pointed down and I was like, I have a sausage. And I started like laughing. And my mom said that she got pissed at me, told me to like go to my room and stuff. And then she started laughing like right after. And she was like, I had asked her about this not too long ago. And like that was the first instance of like
Mm,
my type of humor as I was gonna like
mm.
grow up.
That's not funny. That's so funny.
So like I wish I could remember shit like that. Like I can imagine it in my head because I remember when I was that young and I know my
Yeah.
mom, so I get it. I could piece it together and make like a pseudo memory, but I can't actually remember that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you can like create like almost you can create your own memories, but then they're
Yeah.
like borderline real or not. It's wild. But yeah, dude, like I remember the earliest ones. One and then I had one scary ones too. Like um you growing up, you're watching your Power Rangers and stuff. Remember the putties
Yeah.
from the fodder from Power Rangers? Those used to be my nightmares. So that used to associate those with pigeons, and they had the
Oof.
same colors as pigeons. And I used to be like, I used to like pigeons.
Mhm.
Not that I don't have any like hate for them. They're just
Yeah.
now there. But like back then, I used to pick up, feathers. I was like, "Ooh, a feather!" And my mom
Yeah.
used to be like, "Yo, don't pick that up." But I'm like, I don't know about bacteria. And look
Yeah.
at me now, I'm freaking fucking germaphobe. But that used to freak me out. So when I used to have dreams, the colors of the pigeons, something that I liked with maybe my mom freaking out because I
Mhm.
picking up like pigeon feathers fused with the putties
Mm.
used to freak me out. So I remember there was no Power Rangers, so it was just me fending for myself, and then I would wake up from these nightmares. So
I definitely
that's some
remember
wild shit.
I remember some bad dreams that have like stuck with me forever. And some
Mm,
like random dreams. So like there was one dream when I was probably like 5 or 6, and I still I could access this dream as if I'm having it right now. Like I could
mm,
clearly see what it was that I saw. So
mm,
I guess I was like half asleep, right? And I had just lost a tooth, and I like woke up and was like half awake in the middle of the night, and I kept telling my parents like, "Oh my god, like I saw the tooth fairy," and they were like,
mm.
what? And I was like, I just saw the freaking tooth fairy. Like, I know what she looks like. And for years, as a kid, I was like, yeah, no, I know, I saw her. Like, she had Tinkerbell's body, a cow head, and two button eyes. One was red, one was blue. I can see that right now in my mind's
It's
eye.
funny you say that because it's like so I mentioned in the rap where I'm reading Grammaton Punch,
Uh huh.
the kid he mentions that he was like, yeah, I'm like, there's this. He calls this ghost the eye face because she has one big ocular eye and then just
Mm-hmm.
a mouth with these like the ring from the that creature
Yeah.
from the ring. It's just long hair. So she's like,
Mm.
I see that, and the mom is like, nah, you're just seeing, you're just your imagination, and whatever. So that's what it sounds like. So like, I'm pretty sure you stepped into a different dimension
Yeah,
then.
it's the dream dimension, and like my parents would laugh about it. I'd be like, "All right, man, I saw it, so I don't care." Like, like I
Yeah,
was
right.
so confident in it. Like, oh no, I
Yo,
know, I know.
it's something, what's funny? You say that. I don't think I've ever told anyone this because I don't know for sure.
Hmm.
So in my house, you've been to my house, so you know
Yeah.
how I have the bunk bed.
Hmm.
So I slept on the top bunk, and this was a time I didn't have AC. So growing up for a while, I didn't have an AC. So you can see the back of the apartment building. So you can
Hmm.
see out in the back. So in this dream, there's a freaking alien standing out there, humanoid alien. It
Hmm.
wasn't your typical like Martian with the green big eyes. It was
Yeah.
just I couldn't make out the face. So it
Hmm.
had to have been a dream, but it felt so real.
Hmm.
I was looking out there and I kept hearing this, like, and that woke me up. And I was like, what the fuck? Mind you, I didn't know my words were what the fuck.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
like so I look outside and I'm just like, what is that? And I just kept staring at it. But it wasn't moving, but I kept hearing a clap. But
Hmm.
it wasn't like it sounded like it was tapping. It felt like it sounded like it was flat footed, but it
Hmm.
wasn't moving. And I was like, oh no, this can't, this is not real. And I still think about that time every time. It's just I have these random moments. Cause like, did you hear about the freaking UFO that flew by a plane in Brazil?
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw that, I was like traumatized, like thrown back to that time where I was a kid just
You're like,
seeing this alien.
what?
Like I was just like, oh. And then like the only thing I could do is just go under my bed sheet. And there were times when I used to sleep, I used to look out that window and I used to be like, that shit was watching me from out there.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I was
So
I was in like a deep, I don't remember if it was Reddit or Instagram earlier today, a deep like social media hole, and one of them was like, it was Instagram, but it was
mm,
an Instagram of a Reddit post, and it was like,
mm,
what's the scariest conspiracy theory that you believe? And one of them is called, well, the first one was the Dark Forest one. The next one was the zoo theory. So the fact that us Earth is a
mm.
zoo for the rest of the cosmos, and whenever we see a UFO, it's like an asshole kid like shining like a like coming to
Like a
see us and
laser.
like shining a laser pointer like bothering us and shit, and then like heading out. Like there is a bigger intergalactic body that's like, hey, don't
Mm,
mess with the zoo. Like, and we're
yeah.
just here to like exist for the viewing pleasure of other people
So
or
we're
other
it kind of reminds me of
entities.
like if you remember the end of Men in Black where we're like in marbles.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Or the I'm sure it's like a Goosebumps episode where it's just like we're ants, but like two ants. So
yeah.
ants are looking at us, but we're ants. Yeah, that's some wild shit. Now that is creepy. That's a pretty scary thing, but my that's not a fear. That's scary. That is definitely scary.
Like, because if you think
I
about it,
have
it's
mine.
like it could just be people, like other entities, other creatures, whatever, coming down and just like sneaking a peek, and
Yeah,
then
I
just
like that.
piecing out.
That makes me feel good though. So it's not someone. It's not just someone trying to like probe us,
Yeah.
like stick stuff up our butts. But then they probably do, and that's why people have those stories.
So,
Shit.
um, so it like sticking with dream stuff. Like, there's one scary dream that I had, and like really scary, and it stuck with me forever. But I don't have a fear of it. So I was a kid, and it was I was like being hunted by Sweeney Todd.
Wow.
Like he was a serial killer and he was killing like my family, and I was like next in line, and he like wherever I went, I like got relocated, and so he
Ooh,
would find me.
was this reoccurring?
No, this is all
Because
in
I
one
had
dream, and
oh, okay, because I've had reoccurring scary dreams, but I'll get to that.
this one dream felt like it lasted weeks. Like in like while I was dreaming, it lasted like days on days because things would happen, and like he'd had
You
his,
keep moving in your dream.
yeah, like I would,
It's like Inception. You kept going down these dreams,
I
but he
kept
kept finding
like there
you.
was different events, and like one of the things in dreams is like you don't know how you got there. It's just
You're
a
just
thing
there.
happening. So in the beginning, that's how it was, but after that, I had a through line of like I went in a car and I went here, like, and it lasted like I said 4 days. Like he had hunted me at my house, he hunted me in a Toys R Us, he hunted me at my cousin's house. Like
All
it
your
was,
safe places.
yes, dude, it was crazy, and it was like in the dream I felt like tormented because I was scared of like this serial
Mm.
killer, but I never had a fear of like Sweeney Todd. I've seen that movie, I like it, it's cool. Like I never had a problem with that character. It was just in that dream
Yeah,
for
but you know
whatever
what it
reason
is?
it was like haunting
It's
me.
something that can be creepy looking. Like when I was growing up, like the Jasons, the Freddy Kruegers, Scream. They like that's all creepy looking. For me, those used to be a little bit like I couldn't watch Chucky. I was always sometimes
Oh no.
afraid to go to sleep because
Yeah.
first of all, my sister had those like she had Barbie dolls, but she also had the classic like bigger dolls that kind of
Yeah.
like they kind of look like Chucky. I used to feel fearful of those because like the eyes would just do this when you move it, so like that used to creep me out. But I did have a reoccurring dream with Scream where it always ended up where I would I don't know how I get here, but I always end up going and I always kind of uh chalked it up to like me overcoming fear. So this was kind of like
Hmm.
my it moment. Like and I
Okay.
always tell people it is a scary movie, but it talks about dealing with fear.
Yeah.
So like with this, every time I got to the top of the staircase, it was kind of like in my school, in my grade school at Incarnation and Washington Heights, there was always like you get to the top floor But in this dream, everything is dark, and I see him standing there with a knife, and never got past him.
Mm.
And every time I woke up is every time he stabbed me, and that's when I woke up. So there was one day, like again, this dream just finally came back, and it was just the last time I was like, "You motherfucker!" I just somehow conjured a knife, just went up to him, stabbed the shit out of him. I went up, and I was able to get past him,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was just like, I've never had that dream ever again. So it was just like another conquering fear. But I was just like, bro, I never got past him because I was like, where am I gonna go? For some
Yeah.
reason, this was just me. I had to get past him for some
Mm-hmm.
reason. That was just scary as shit.
That's intense. I had a
And then I had
dream. No, good, good.
no, no. I was gonna say that's that my fear. My dreams are just fear of falling. So if I'm ever playing basketball and I jump too high, me coming down, I just wake up.
Wow.
Yeah,
Um,
I just don't like falling.
I had a dream one time that I got shot, and I
Okay.
and I felt it, and I was older. I
Yeah.
was in
Yeah.
either the ending of high school or beginning of college, and
Mm.
it freaked me out because it was, and I don't remember who it was. Um, yeah, I can't, but I was with a friend, and
In the dream.
in the dream, and we were outside my house, and the friend was getting into an argument with someone else, like, and I was like, nah, man, like, let's just go, like, forget this, and I got in the middle of it, and the other guy took out a gun and shot me, like, in my stomach,
Damn.
and I started to bleed out, and I felt it, and I was like, and it was so weird because I remembered, like, I didn't feel it, I heard it, and then I was like, it took me a second, and then I felt the burning of the bullet hole, and I looked down, and I was like, oh my god, and I, like, shock set in, and I started to
Yeah.
freak out, and then, like, I woke up or whatever. I'm talking to my dad, and I was like, yo, you will not fucking believe the dream I just had. And I'm an adult already, like, and I'm telling him, he was like,
Mm.
that's really scary because that's, like, supposed to be like how it feels. He was like, that's supposed to be how it feels, and he was like, shit like that happens all the time. And I was like, why are you telling me
Yeah.
this? Like, my dad's a retired cop, so he was just, like, telling me how it is, and I was like, I'm freaking out right now. You think that was what you should be saying? Um, but yeah, that was a crazy one. But I also have vivid memories of, like, trying to fall asleep. Like, ever since I was little, more so now that I'm an adult. But when I was little, sometimes I would have trouble falling asleep. But
Mm.
and it would be so weird. Like, I had many occasions with, like, a sleep paralysis demon, right? Where, like, you can't move and you're like, you freak out, and then, like, you have to kind of, like, rip yourself away, and you could feel like a presence almost. Um,
Mm.
so I've felt that a bunch of times, but there was one time where like, I couldn't go to sleep for hours, and it was because I had the song. My cat is freaking out right now.
Yeah. It's like,
I had the song "Here Comes the Hot Stepper" in my head,
mm.
and I couldn't go to sleep, so I kept singing it. Here comes the hot stepper, murderer. Is the lyrical gangster, murderer. Ain't nothing like that, murderer. I was up for hours as a child singing
That's
this
not.
song, and I just couldn't go to sleep. Like, and I remember it vividly. I had to be, dude. I think I was up until like 3 o'clock in the morning, like, singing this.
That's the worst.
There was another
It's
one,
either
and
that or you just like can't sleep because you're excited about something.
I don't know. And there's like, there's this one has happened multiple times into my adulthood. Like, when I can't go to sleep, randomly,
Mm.
the ripped pants song from SpongeBob will creep into my head. Like, and I'm trying to, like, it's not like I could just be like trying to go to sleep, and then, like, I can't, and I'm just staring there, and I'm like, and I ripped my pants, and, like, I'll sing the entire song. It happens
Well, you
to
know,
this day. It doesn't
you
happen
know what's
often, but it
yeah,
happens.
you know what's that entry point to dreaming? You know how like there's no sequence to dreaming; it's just you're there. But obviously, so many things could happen in that instance. You just don't remember all those
Yeah.
instances because you're not going to remember that. Anything you remember is what you can recall. But one thing that I've realized, how again, no one, this is all me doing science on myself and probing my brain. But I realized the way to enter a dream is when you start thinking weird shit and you're already there. So like there was a time I thought about something. It was like something an elephant related. I said something I like in my head I thought of something with an elephant. Like let's say I said something like an elephant has a belly button. It doesn't make sense to me, but if it doesn't if because I was able to catch myself
Hmm.
think this and I was like, "Wait, why would I think that?" I
Yeah.
think that is the gateway into a dream and it's just like you're because your brain is shutting down. So it's like you need to go to sleep and you
I've
just sound
definitely,
because that's why they say when you're sleeping, if you're sleep deprived and you get behind a car, that's like driving drunk. So when your brain is shutting down, you should not be driving.
and
So
I've,
like that's how I always feel. Like I always feel like when I think of something weird, I'm like, all right, my body's ready to go.
yeah, and when it's weird and like for some reason in your head it makes sense and you're like, nah, this is not like I need to go to bed.
Yeah,
It's like it's the delirium. You're starting to get like
yeah.
delirious, and I've actually one time. I mean, it might have happened more than once. Um, I've gotten behind the wheel while sleep deprived, and it is not smart at all. Um,
Mm-mm,
so you hallucinate. That's another thing. If you're up long enough, you will hallucinate. Um,
mm-hmm,
and it's what was it in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake from like 2013
mm,
or 14? No,
yeah,
probably earlier than that. Anyway, they
probably,
touch on that
probably.
because the kids try to stay awake and they start like taking drugs, like pills to keep themselves awake. And one of the things is like, we have this amount of time until we go into a coma and we can't get up. They're like, we will start hallucinating. Like he will start tracking us while we're awake because we're hallucinating, like we're dreaming while awake. And he was like,
Mm,
and then after 76 hours, we'll fall into a coma and like there's no way to get to escape him. Whatever, whatever. So
gotcha. It's
there was
2010.
one, there was one time that I worked a overnight shift at Victoria's Secret when I used to work there. And I had been up a full day before that. I got no sleep. So then I had to drive home and I was fucking seeing stuff on the road. Like
Mm,
it was like it would be in the corner of my eye and then I'd look at it and there's nothing there and I'd be like, "Oh god,
mm,
I need to go to bed." Like
yeah,
and it's scary, man. There was one time
it can be doing that shit.
when I was dating Erica, um I had been working and going to school and stuff like that, and I was driving home. Thank God her house was only like 5 minutes away. I was driving home from her house. Oh no, this is when I was already out of school. I was living in the Bronx. So on the
Mm,
highway going home, I had left her house at like 1 in the morning, and I was dirt tired. This is when I was working at the fish market. I was
yeah,
tired.
yes.
I fell asleep. Like I had hit the point where I was asleep with my eyes open, and I woke up and I
Okay,
was driving, and I almost like got into an accident.
yeah.
Like I was like this, and then I went, ah! Like it was a very scary thing. But yeah, don't be sleep
Don't
deprived.
sleep and
It's not
drive.
good.
Don't
It's
sleep
not
and
good.
drive.
Um,
No, that's scary, dude. Nah, but like that's the thing. Dreams are a very powerful thing. Um, and I know Inception is a great movie, and it's something. There are lessons to be learned in that. It's just like it
for
can
sure.
do a lot. Like that's why I have my random. Well, I've always had this fear when I was younger, but as of late, it's kind of like slightly amplified. My irrational fear is dying and then reliving the same life again and not being like successful or accomplished. So
Mm,
I'm just doing the same shit over and over. But the sad part is that I don't know it. So that's why I always strive to be like, I just
yeah,
want to be something,
because
you
then you
know?
break the sequence and it's not the dream or whatever.
Yeah. So then it's like I've had this fear of just like randomly being taken off this planet because I'm just like, there's always just random creepiness. Like there was one time I had a dream where I was walking my dog. I was walking Cece. So the dream is like before I was like, we're moving to the Bronx. I have no fear. Well, you should be fearful of wherever you live, but I'm not like scared of living in the Bronx, but I'm like, I'm moving to the Bronx. It's a new place. I had a dream where I was walking Cece. No, no, I was walking Cece. I think someone she ran away or someone took her, and I was running to find her. I found her, and there was a guy there, and then I was like, I forget how the altercation happened, but the guy shot me, and I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I think I was looking for Cece, and I think because like she was taken, and I was pulling a Liam Neeson, but then I didn't win that
You
battle.
didn't have the
So
skills.
like, so yeah, like so now every time I walk Cece, I'm just like, it's a weird. Again, that's an inception right there because I've kind of that's a thought that it comes to my mind because
Well,
that
yeah,
could it can grow and get worse, or I need to have a handle on it.
you created a
So,
scenario out of nothing, but now it's like it's a grounded scenario that unfortunately could come true. Um, there was one where I was an adult already, and I can't remember if I think I was living in the Bronx, but
mm,
I can't remember. Even then, I couldn't remember the dream, but something terrible was happening to me. I know that, and I woke up, but I woke up in such a violent way. First off, I was
mm.
in a pool of sweat. Like
Yeah, that's
I
the
was
worst.
like drenched. Like I had just come out of a fucking swimming pool, and I screamed. I was like bloody murder. Like
Mm,
I screamed myself awake, and I was like, "Wah!" Like
hmm
loud. My entire body, all my muscles were clenched, and like I let go, and it felt like I had just got beat up. Um,
mm,
but it literally felt like whatever was happening, I had ripped myself from like the dream world. Like my
mm,
brain was
mm,
so tired. It was in pain. Like I had a headache, but it felt like I ripped something in my brain. It felt like I
mm.
literally ripped myself out of that dimension and came in, and I was just like, whoa, like I was breathing hard. Like I was like, oh my god, and then immediately I just knocked right back out.
It's not the fuck up.
Yeah, like it.
That's so
It
peace.
was maybe 5 to 10 seconds. Like I had this crazy ripping out of a dream, and like I acknowledged I was in my room. I was sweating. I was in bed. I was like, okay, it was a nightmare. Done.
Yeah, you're like, I'm okay.
And then
Question for you.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just
No,
gonna.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna ask if you've ever lucid dreamed.
Um,
I
it's
mean, I
the
guess
most
that scream
recent
one
one.
kind of counts, right? Like where you actually like stabbed him.
Yeah, but it was just like I think it was dope. I just manifested a butcher knife just like his, and just was
Yeah.
like, because I think I was able to stop his knife, and he like cut me, but I was able to like get a like a thing.
Hmm.
But I would say like probably, and this is the worst one too. And we most of us, I'm sure everyone has had this, getting up to start your day, but not getting up.
Yeah.
Like get up, take a shower, brush your teeth. The only time I was able to
Yes.
stop myself is realize I'm like, I can't be peeing right now because this is not real. And I woke up and I was like, fuck, I just had a whole fucking day. Shit. Then it's
Dude.
like you wake up tired because you're just like had a whole day or a
So
whole morning rather.
I don't know why I used to have those dreams all the time. Like
Mm.
all the time. I haven't had one in a while
No,
now,
I haven't had one in a long time
but I
either.
used to have those dreams of like of peeing,
Oh no, those are the worst.
and I would just be like, and I'd be like, nope, 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 I can't, and I'd wake
Yeah,
up and
right.
have to go. I'd also always I used to have the dreams of falling, and I used to have them like until college, and then it just stopped,
Mm.
of like falling and then like catching yourself. There was one time I actually fell off of my bed,
Oh, that's
and
beast.
it was a like I in the dream I was falling off a building, and then I hit the ground, and the ground was like the ground in real life, and I was like,
But
okay,
you know, that's one of the reasons why I love Inception because it does illustrate how everyone feels when it comes to falling.
you know,
That 2 feet fall, it's like fucking 3,000 feet in the sky. Like it's just wild how our brain can. This measurement doesn't affect this dream world. You
yeah,
know, it feels infinite.
yeah.
Um, and that. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, what are just your top three dreams? I don't know why I have my top three, but like just either favorite. I guess favorite. I can't really say
So
because
I don't know if it'd be a favorite, but I
or just
had I
dope
had it.
dreams.
The one dream that I can remember where I lucid dreamed was pretty
Mm.
dope. Like I want to say I was like surrounded by like enemies of some sort, and I remember being like in the dream, and I was like, I like realized it was a dream, and I was like, wait,
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
just
I was like,
you
wait,
just like turn into Mega Man.
dude, I was like, wait, I'm dreaming. Fuck this, and I flew. Like I just was like straight up like anime, like flew
Like
like I was a
fucking Neo.
superhero. Yo, I was just like, and it was exactly like Neo, actually, exactly like the Matrix. It was just like I was like, "Fuck this," and like I just,
I'm not gonna stay for this.
yeah, I was like, I just started
You're
flying, and
just
then I
like, how
woke
many
up.
animes have I watched to just stick with this fight?
Then I woke up, and I was like, "Damn, that was pretty fucking cool." Like,
It's like I should have fucked them niggas up.
so that's
Yeah.
one. I've definitely had. I had like one sex dream that was like,
Mm.
I think I was in
It was just
college.
like Mila Kunis.
It was a great time. I don't even remember, but it was like I was like, I had woke up and I was like, damn, man, like, can I do that in real life? Like, I was doing crazy moves and stuff, and I was just like, wow.
You're, it's mad random, but it's your leg behind your head.
Like,
I did that.
I woke up and I was like, damn, I am a sex god. Like, I'm amazing. Like, and I had a great day.
Bow before me.
So that's another one. I definitely had a dream where like I got to like just be with I think Miley Cyrus. Like me and her were just like a thing. We were just together, and like it wasn't like a sex dream or anything. It was just
I
like,
think a lot of people would. It's just like the girl that you with. It's like for me, it was always this. I had a. It's like kind of the girl. I guess it's not your ideal girl, but it's kind of like the dating aspect. You just want it to be in this dating.
yeah,
I
because it
here.
wasn't
Look at me,
like
just like describing your dream to you,
because it wasn't like
trying to dissect
lusting
this.
over it. It was just like
Yeah.
I think we were just hanging out. I don't
Mm.
even think it was anything crazy, but I'm
It
pretty
wasn't
sure I
like.
had a dream like that.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't think I have any like favorite dreams. Like the one that I
Yeah.
think about fondly is the lucid dreaming when I just started flying and I was like I
Those are. I think that's the best one. So like I had two of those, but like the three that always stays with me is, and there's no particular order. But I told you this, and I saved the screenshot that you put on my Facebook page. Was me conversing with Stanley,
mm-hmm,
talking about whatever. I've had it twice, but there was one where I remember vividly. And then my favorite one was when, and I've told you this when this was like when I was in high school and Halo Reach was dropping, but I had read the book before, and
mm-hmm.
I was like, when I was reading this book, I remember I was in Canada, and the dream was, it was just me with other Spartans coming down to Earth,
Mm-hmm,
like ODST,
mm-hmm.
and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck shit up. Like I just like I was coming through space, and this was like my first time like not being fearful of falling because I think I'm like
Yeah,
actively like going down,
yeah.
and like with the assault rifle and everything, and then I got like Chief on my right and everything. It was just so dope. And the other one was just so random. There's nothing that should have triggered this, right? Nothing should have triggered this. Power Rangers and Justice League were just teaming up, and I was a part of the team.
That's
No
fantastic.
reason, and I was just protecting. I don't know what we were defending Earth from. We were just together, and it was not like it was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with like the animated Justice League, and we
Oh,
were just
so
like
it was mixed media
it was mixed media, and we were just like, yo, we're gonna fuck shit up. We were just defending from whatever.
and you were just Jay. Like you were just
I
like
was, yeah, I had no powers. And I was like, I just was like this. Let's do this. It could be like the aliens from freaking Edge of Tomorrow, and I'm just like this,
like let's
just
go.
fisticuffs. Let's do this. I know Superman got my back. He won't let me die. Like that's how brave I was.
Red Ranger
That's one of
got
like
me.
the
Red Ranger
yeah. Team Red. Like
Team Red.
that was just so random. Like, why did I have that dream? I had no reason
That's
being there.
so hysterical though.
Now, mixed
That's
media is dope. I remember when this talk about mixed media. I remember Misty was in my dream, like Misty from
from Pokemon.
Pokemon, and it wasn't sexual. It was just Misty was there, Ash was there,
Mm.
and Hulk Hogan was there.
Oh,
No
okay.
reason, no fucking.
And everyone was just
Hulk,
getting along, like, "Hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, pretty good."
nah, Hulk Hogan was a dick because you know what it was. So I had TMNT Secret of the Ooze on VHS. So on the
Hmm.
trailers before, I don't know what Hulk Hogan movie was there, but Hulk Hogan was like kind of a dick in that. So I guess he kind of manifested in my dreams being a dick. And I was hanging out with Misty and Ash, and then Hulk Hogan came through. And he was just being an asshole to me, and then that's the last thing I remember. So speaking of mixed media, that was
Secret
one
of the
another one.
Ooze, because he wasn't in that one.
He wasn't in the movie. It was in the trailers, like those trailers before the movie actually
Yeah.
starts.
So the only thing I could think of is, was it Commando?
You
Something Commando.
It
And
had to have been around that year.
there's a in the trailer and in the movie, um, there's a scene where it's super dramatically, like, they try to freeze him with like a freeze ray or something. He's like an alien commando type deal. Um, they try to freeze him with like a freeze ray, and he's when the fog clears, he's drinking this little vial, and he brings it down. He's like, and he goes like this. He goes, "Antifreeze," and then gets up and starts punching the guy. What is that
I have to
freaking
find it.
movie? That's the only thing that I think
Suburban
would have.
Commando.
Suburban Commando, 1991,
It had to have been this.
and he was a little like weird in that.
That's funny. The film was originally intended to be titled Urban Commando, but was intended for Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger, which makes sense.
Dude,
When
that would
these
have been
two opposites
so
make twins,
fucking funny.
that's mad funny.
That would have been
Yeah, it
so
had to have been
fucking funny.
Suburban Commando. That's what it
Because
was.
Secret of the Ooze. Oh well, I don't know. Secret of the Ooze.
Because there's the Nanny, Thunder in Paradise. It can't be that. I'm just looking at his like filmography. There's Spy Hard. Yeah, and once you keep going, you're getting away from Secret of the Ooze. What year was Secret of the Ooze?
I'm looking that up right now.
Because
Okay,
I
3 was in 93. So that means Secret of the Ooze would have been 91 or 92. Hold on.
no, wasn't the first one 91?
Yeah. No, the first one was 90.
Oh,
This one was 91. So it's the same year. It would have lined up. And
yeah. Oh wait, I found the trailer actually.
if I'm correct, I think they're both New Line Cinema.
Columbia TriStar home video.
Yep, New Line. Okay.
Yes, it was Suburban Commando. I remember this
Yep.
vividly. Yeah, Christopher Lloyd was one of the characters.
Dude,
He
that's
tried to
so
escape.
fucking crazy that we just figured that
Oh,
out. Yeah,
that's
they're both
so
New Line
cool.
Cinema, so they would have been on the same cassette, like for the coming attractions.
Yeah, and he breaks. Yeah, he just. I remember, and then the secretary's like, "Take a seat," and he's holding a seat. Yeah, I remember. Yo, this I remember this like it was yesterday. Didn't know what I was watching, but I remember because it was Suburban Commander came up, and then there was like this McDonald's commercial as well that came up a part of that trailer.
Hmm.
And mind you, you know what's crazy? I could have just fast forward, but the
You
love
just
of
let it happen
watching
to you
those
every
trailers,
time.
yeah, just let it watch it every time. I used to watch Men in Black, the trailer, all the time.
Dude, my
Ah,
favorite
good old.
McDonald's commercial from when we were kids was it Mac Tonight? You remember the moon headed mascot, and he used to play the piano, and he was like a cool jazz moon, and it was about
Mac
like,
tonight, like tonight, or
yeah, and it was like about like late night McDonald's, and that was it.
oh shit, I remember this guy.
Yep.
I can't imagine. I'm trying to think.
So
It's a
fun
30 second. It's a
fact.
30-second spot.
So fun fact about that the guy that's in the suit. It's a character actor named Doug Jones. Doug Jones is Abe Sapien from Hellboy. He's also
Mm.
the one of the monsters from Pan's Labyrinth. Um, Damn, he's done so many like
I mean,
iconic.
he's like working with Guillermo del Toro over here.
He's done a lot. I think every single one of his movies. Um, he's done a lot of iconic roles of like in costumes, which is so funny. So yeah, he was Hellboy 1 and 2. The Shape of Water. He's the amphibian man.
Oh wow.
Which is also Abe Sapien from freaking Hellboy.
Yeah.
He's Fauno, the goat, weird goat thing that's like the like guide for Pan and Pan's Labyrinth.
Hmm.
Star Trek Discovery. Yep. Oh, he's Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus 1 and 2. Um, trying to see what else. But yeah, he's been in a lot of shit like that, and he always does. He does a lot of like character in
Dude,
suit
he's
kind of
62.
work. Yeah, but yeah, that's Mac
He's a little
tonight.
creepy looking too.
Yeah, he's very like skeletal. Yeah, just fun fact about Mac tonight, one of the beloved '90s mascots. But
This was a good dream talk.
yeah,
We went from being born to dreams.
yeah, I enjoyed it. So I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I think we're unless you have anything else to mention about dreams.
No, just follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams, especially when you know that they're dreams and you can fly. So, with that, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Thanks for joining us for J&J After Dark. Come back next week after the episode, and you'll get more. All right,
Yeah. Bye.
bye.